might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Wednesday, January 24th, 2024. It is currently 7:20 a.m. If you do not know who I am your host, Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win, and this is the Koffee and Kata morning show, where we review some news stories. We have our cup of coffee, and we get into some coding challenges. We are going to be continuing with the Chaos Camp OpenAI API testing challenge, where we're currently working on that through BDD, implementing that. Still need to connect with Don a little bit more so we can so right now, because we'll get into it as we get into that part, right? Let's get started with the show. But tomorrow night, so today we have the software explorations, concepts and overviews coming out at noon, where we are going to be talking about test flakiness in automation. And then tomorrow night we're going to be going live. We're going to be continuing our software explorations, implementing automation testing on the freemindrecovery.com website, which is the startup for Calculus Coder. So we are working on automated testing there. We're doing the same test, but in Cypress, in Playwright, and in Selenium to see which one gives us the best experience. So tune in for that. But on that show, I think I'm going to start off with the topic of the theme is going to be relentless tomorrow night, right? Some conversations have made me I want to talk about it for a little bit, right? So tomorrow night, we are going to be relentless and talk about what that means. And then we are going to get into our software explorations, where we're going to be continuing exploring and investigating these automation tools. All right. So those are the quick announcements. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time that we go live. Like the video and share the video with all your friends and families and anybody who would be interested in tech related news. All right. So that is the announcements. Oh, yeah. And by the way, check out the Patreon at www.techcoachralph.dev, where you can level up your technical skills and as well sign up for one-on-one coaching with me. All right. So invest in yourself today and let's get it popping. All right. So let's jump into our news stories for the day. Let me zoom in first. All right. And let's get our timer up. And we are off. All right. So our first news story is Wayfair cuts targeted remote staff. Oh my goodness, this really sucks. All right. So remote workers were more vulnerable in Wayfair's recent round of layoffs, executives said in an all-hands staff meeting on Tuesday, the Wall Street Journal reports, citing an anonymous source or sources. The job cuts totaled about 1,650 people, or 13% of the company's workforce. The online seller of home furnishings will have some remote workers, CEO and co-founder Niraj Shah said in the meeting, but has figured out which ones make sense in person, according to the journal. The feeling among the executive team is that most workers should be at their desks in the office on most days. Employees at the meeting questioned a recent memo from Shaw urging them to work harder because there is a lot of history of laziness being rewarded with success. Well, that might be. I don't know. There might be something to that. We might investigate that a little bit later. The CEO of cosmetics giants L'Oreal, Nicolas Hieronymus, also denounced remote work recently, saying employees working from home have absolutely no attachment, no passion, no creativity. I would say this CEO is absolutely incorrect with that assessment. Um, I, I see plenty of people who are in the office who also have absolutely no attachment, no passion, no creativity, and they're just waiting for the time to hit the time to go home so that they can go do whatever they would be doing anyway. So I do not think it's the location that you're working from that makes you have no attachment, no passion, no creativity. I just think it's the person that you are. So I highly disagree with that. But the part about there is a lot of history of laziness being rewarded with success, that is definitely I would tend to agree with that, but I don't think it has anything to do with the location that you work. I just think it has everything to do with who you are as a person. All right, great. Okay, let's move on to our next one. In other news, eBay to lay off 1,000 workers. Yet another tech company is starting 2024 with a round of layoffs. eBay is letting go about 1,000 people, or 9% of its full-time workforce, the company announced on Tuesday. It's also scaling back work for contractors to save on expenses, which have outpaced the growth of our business, according to a statement from the e-commerce giant. eBay has seen online spending slow since the pandemic and lost market share to the likes of Amazon. It laid off about 500 people, of about 500 employees, or about 4% of its workers last February. TikTok has eliminated 60 jobs to cut costs, joining Amazon, Google, and others in announcing layoffs in the tech sector this month. Um, yeah, I mean, I remember when I think I first started using eBay back in maybe like 2003 ish, maybe. And but competition is competition, so it is what it is. But yeah, so Wayfair cuts, eBay cuts. All right, we have a theme trending today. Okay, so now let's transition to our next one. The Los Angeles Times lays off 20% of its staff. What a brutal, brutal morning it is for us today. The Los Angeles Times will lay off at least 115 journalists, reducing its newsroom by a fifth, the newspaper reported Tuesday. Publisher Patrick Soon-Shiong said the cuts were necessary because the paper was losing $30 million to $40 million a year. I don't even know how you can sustain that type of loss year over year. The move follows the first work stoppage in the paper's 142 years history Friday as staffers protested expected job cuts. The thing about protesting job cuts, money is money. Like, if you don't have the money, like, would you like not rather not get fired and not get paid? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Once I start getting paid, I feel like I'm getting fired anyway. So I don't know. Right. Um, in another sign of media turmoil, Tuesday, 400 unionized workers walked off the job at Condé Nast. The union says Condé violated labor laws when it announced it would lay off about 5% of its staff back in November. The LA Times, like the Washington Post and Time magazine, was bought by a billionaire, but all are reportedly losing money. At the end of the day, if you're not making money, then it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. So do that as you will. A lot of job cuts being reported. It sucks. But if the people as a whole are like, you might have a losing strategy as a company, right? Like they were saying in the Wayfarers, like that, or the L'Oreal CEO talking about, let's look at it real quick, having absolutely no attachment, no passion, no creativity. Or it could be that the product that you're selling, which used to be popular at one point, is no longer popping anymore, and you didn't pivot when you should have, and now you're taking it out on your employees, whether they're working remotely or in the office. Because guess what? The eBay employees, it doesn't say if they're working remotely or if they're working in the office. The the LA Times employees, they're journalists, like, so I don't think it's the location. I just think maybe your product is not what it used to be, right? Maybe the LA Times didn't evolve enough. Maybe Wayfair isn't evolving enough. Maybe L'Oreal isn't evolving enough. We definitely know that eBay did not evolve enough, right? So that's the thought between all these layoffs. I mean, and there could be layoffs that are just because economic hardships for a company and stuff like that. But the main point is that you don't just blame the work situation, like where the employees are working from and things like that. There are certainly employees who take advantage of work from home, but there's employees who take advantage of working in the office as well. So I don't think that's the deciding factor. All right. And let's get to our very last story for today. I guess on a positive note, right? Through all these layoffs, people have plenty of time to watch Netflix. So Netflix adds 13 million, yes, you heard me correctly, 13 million new subscribers. Netflix is pulling further away from its streaming rivals, adding a better than expected 13.1 million new subscribers in the fourth quarter. So that is just in one quarter that they added 13.1 million new subscribers and bringing its total count to 260 million people. Yes, inflation is on the rise. Food is up. Energy is expensive. Housing is crazy. But we have plenty of time to watch Netflix at a total count of 260 million people. Analysts had expected, on average, 8.8 million new signups, Variety reports. The entertainment juggernaut is also planning to begin retiring its $11.99 ad-free basic plan in countries that have ad-supported plans. The Verge reports the phase-out will begin in Canada and the UK in the second quarter of the year. In its letter to shareholders, Netflix set stage for additional price increases in 2024. The company is also hoping to further jolt subscriber numbers by entering the wrestling ring. Earlier Tuesday, Netflix announced a 10-year, $5.1 billion deal for the exclusive rights to WWE's World World Wrestling Entertainment, Raw. The investment in real-time programming makes it a bigger player against Amazon Prime, Peacock, and Apple, which already have live sports deals. In addition to strong subscriber growth, Netflix's fourth quarter revenue exceeded analysts' expectations. Absolutely stunning and amazing. But I have another question though, right? How many people signed up for a course on Udemy during the past quarter, right? And what courses did they sign up for? Or who signed up for Coursera, right? Show me something of value that you are doing it with your life. It's funny talking about Netflix because because I have T-Mobile, and T-Mobile, they were like, as a benefit, they were providing Netflix. And I got an email saying, or a text or something like that, saying that, hey, because Netflix increased their prices, the second time I got a message like that, like, we're going to increase your monthly charges for the difference, right? And I was like, oh, really, 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 really. So I logged in and I downgraded to the free ad based plan because I don't know the last time I watched Netflix. And I think it's the family who watches Netflix. I'm like, hey, look, you're just gonna have to get some ads now because I'm not paying all this money for Netflix for something that is not very productive, you know. So 13 million new subscribers to Netflix. it is what it is, right? More power to Netflix for winning on all fronts. All right, all right, all right. So those are our news stories for this morning. All right. We are going to jump into our coding challenge in just a bit. Let me get the applications up and running. And let me acknowledge B Peace in the chat saying good morning to you as well. And Black and Armed said good day, ready to work, coach. I am excited that you're ready to work as well. Let's get it done. You know, relentless. Let's push forward. Let's go out there and kill it, okay? So, where is our application? All right, there goes PyCharm. Let's move this. And I might as well just start off now to get the. Oh, all right. Should still work. Okay. If not, then we will. All right, other times it's 35. Let's put another 20 minutes on the clock. Let's go with 20 minutes. All right. So where we left off last time, let's go to this one. Okay. So actually I ended up using this the other yesterday and the day before at work. Applying a for some automation code that we had to do. So and it worked out pretty well. So we can continue with that. I don't think I need this file. Actually, no, we don't need this file. It was actually pretty easy to do, right? Because it's going to be context table. Um, but let's see. We need our steps file, and we can do a let's do another steps file called. I guess I can just refactor this code right here. Let's refactor that, and let's name this rename or refactor. Rename, and we'll just call that prolonged convo, right? And our let's go to prolonged convo steps. All right, so let's open that up, and let's open this steps file to get our imports. Just drop it in here. All right. So now we need to do so let's split it up like this so we can have a better view of it. Let's close this. I need to see if there's a key that I can just hide all the extra fluff. Let's see, view. I don't know, but I want to have like a key where I can hide all the extra windows just to show the main window that's being worked on. We're gonna put this over here so we can see our conversation. We're gonna say here. Let me try to zoom in a bit. All right. Hopefully you can see that a little bit better. But we're gonna say at here we go when, and we say I send a series of prompts to OpenAI, and we're gonna say the function definition of send prompts to OpenAI, right? And we're gonna go to context variable, and here we're going to say for row in context.table. And here we're just going to say print out the row. Let's see what happens with that, right? Let's give it a space. Let's just leave it as that for now. We should be able to see that. We'll see if this prints out these rows, and then we can continue making our modifications from there. All right. So let's go. Where's our terminal? And we're gonna do behave. And let's add the work in progress tag to this one. Make sure there's no other work in progress tags we do. Let's get rid of that one. All right, so behave -w for the work in progress tag. And let's run it. Hit the -k. All right, so I always have to set this open, this API key. I just think I'm gonna like put it in the path file. Let's see if I have it here. Let me go find it. But all it takes is 20 to 30 minutes a day, right, of practicing your coding skills so you can get better, and you can wake up your mind. I like it the most because I get to wake up my mind and start to like focus on the day instead of like getting into work sluggish and not live up to the expectations of the L'Oreal CEO, Nicolas Hieronymus, who says that people who work remotely are lazy. I've seen plenty of people in office who are also lazy, so I'm not buying into that. Let's set this OpenAI key real quick. Um, all right, let's see if that worked. Okay. And we are going to do behave and -w-k. All right. So not implemented. The content of the conversation should remain. Where is that one? Oh, we're looking at this one. Okay, so we just need to have a then here, and I'm just gonna copy that right here. So let's here, and then we're gonna say here def validate context of conversation. And we're gonna go with here context. And we're gonna say pass for now just to get it to go through. And put here, and now we're gonna run it again. And we have so there it goes, right? So row, I need some cool ideas. All right, so now that we see that is there, we are going to in the code, we're gonna say see what that gives us. We have there we go. So now we have our prompts coming in, right? And so now we can just pass that into OpenAI. But before we go any further, we have to give acknowledgement, love, and shout outs to my brother in the chat. Operation Tech Takeover says, Peace and blessings, bro. Shout out to you.
I appreciate you.
That was a great show last night. A lot of tough love given and encouragement. Hey, I gotta tell them the truth, right? And I've I know what we're capable of, right? But we have to. The problem is we're not implemented with the mindset of how to go out and go out and get it. So I'm like, all right, it's on you. It is on you. And if you didn't see the show from last night, just check out just go and check out the first question. Like, I don't think you should wait until it comes out in a clip in a few months. Go check out the first question and see how answering the question about how you can take control of the opportunities that you have and not sit around and wait. So it was a really, really good question, and I'm so happy that you were there, Tech Takeover, and I am 100% behind you. And keep up those study sessions. You're doing amazing. All right. So thank you for tuning in on your drive to work, and just be safe out there. I know it's still cold up there, might be icy, so just continue to be safe. All right. All right. So now we're going to work on sending the prompts. Right. So let's go and take. Let's see. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Okay. So I want to be able to send the prompts, right? What is sending the prompt? So send prompt to AI. So we have a method to do that, right? And that's all that this method does. But right now it's currently in the task accuracy step, right? But I think this should be reused across different step files. And like, for instance, like I've seen where we'll end up having a super, super long step file. I don't think that's entirely necessary, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go here and I'm going to, let's say we call this, um, where would I, so let's say we do it like this, right? We're going to make a new, uh, directory, and we're going to call it helpers, right? And here I'm going to make a Python file. I'm going to call that something like, what's a good name for it? We'll just call it shared functions for now, right? And in here, I'm just going to go into task accuracy and I'm going to take this function right here. Can I do that? Because there's a context that it's trying to pass in there. Oh yeah, I can do that. But let me see. Let's try it. So if I go here and I put this here, right? And we need to import. Let's make this full real quick. Actually, we need to close this, close that, and I'm gonna move this to the bottom. Let's move this in here first, right? And let's move this to the bottom. So what I want to do is in this shared function, I need to get, all right, so I need to go up here and I need to get OpenAI, right? At least OpenAI, so we don't have these errors. Not entirely sure this is going to work, but let's find out. And where does client come from? Okay. So, oh, I did not have to pass client in every single time. Let's try this, right? We might be able to get away with this. If not, we can always pass it into the method. So let's go with this and let's see. Actually, no. I think I'm going to pass it in. We might refactor later, right? But might just have to. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, right? And we could also do system content, right? And that's where we could pass in this as well so that this can end up being reusable, right? System content. All right, so let's leave it as that, and then we can go and let's see if we can go to this step, right? And instead of having to did I get rid of it here? So instead of having to do this, we could go here and say let's do import shared um let's see shared function. Where is that? Let me see if I move it into the folder. Import help. Okay, there we go. Helpers. Um. So. Let me see. Where is my shared functions? Let's see. And if we do that, let's say we do. Let's see. So send prompt to AI. So here we want to. If we return this right here, we're not. All right, let's see if we do that. And now I just got to get it in here. Let's see what we're doing here. All right, so import helpers. Not getting this import. Let's see why we're not getting this import. Python import method from another file. Let's see. Okay, from file. We are doing from helpers import shared functions. Okay, so now if we go down here and we say shared functions dot send prompt context client, and then we take this context, this content row right here. And we place it in here. Let's do contacts, client, and then system content is that, or not like that. Okay. Clean it up. And then that one. All right. So now if we were to comment this out, and have this equal that, and we should be good with that. So now, if we were to run this, if we were to run this one again, right? Then this should still pass, right? So let's turn
Lunch break. Lunch break.
let's turn off the prolonged conversation for now because we just did some refactoring and we want to see if our refactoring actually worked. Okay, so let's go to terminal and let's run this. And it still works, right? It still works with our refactoring job. Who is the CEO? Task specific accuracy. I send a prompt to OpenAI where we have, I send a prompt. So that still works, right? So now if we take this shared function in our, so let's undo this one, right? And we're about to wrap it up, but let's take this tag off. And in here, we go to from helpers, import shared functions, right? And then here we say, so for row and context table, we want to do shared functions dot send prompt AI context. We still need our client, so let's copy, which we can get a better way for this, but we'll refactor a little bit more in the future. We're gonna want to take all of this, and we will put it in here. So this is going to be content or client, and then system. And I'll just add a default of none to this right here. Because you don't, I think that's optional. So, and if it's not, then we'll figure it out from there, right? So now we have this here. Task accuracy. What in the world? Oh, that's the prolonged. Okay, cool. That's prolonged convo. So this is going to be client, right? And oh, we don't need that in here. Okay, got a little confused, got a little bit ahead of myself, right? So client, and it's passing client in here. The system is none. And we would say let's just looking at this one up here before we wrap it up for the morning. Um, so for the time being, let's do content.response. So let's go with this, right? So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna drop inside of this function right here the response from here. Actually, yeah, we can do that for the time being, just so we can wrap it up for today. We're gonna go like that, and then we can clean it up later. But we do want to see the response from the AI, which we don't really need that one, but we would want to say. So what we're gonna do, we are going to say we don't need this one right now, right? Because what we're doing, we just want to print out the response from AI for the time being, and then next week we can clean up the test around it. But we just want to see it print the row and then print the response. Print the row, print the response. So I'm gonna do a let's turn this into a F string. Right, and then we're gonna do the same for here. Oh wait, this needs to be inside of the curly braces as well as here and we're gonna put this also in curly braces. Open AI response. And here we can call this request. Open AI. All right. So let's run that real quick. We'll see what we get, and then we'll wrap it up for this morning. We're doing long conversations, work in progress. Okay, so now terminal here. And we fail. Communicate back. Why did we fail? When I send a series of prompts to OpenAI, context object has no attribute. Prompt. Context attribute has no. So let's take a look at what they're talking about in this one. Context attribute. Okay. I see. In that case, here, I think what we could do then is say prompt. Yeah. Okay. I see what's going on here. There's gonna. I don't. I kind of see why it worked on the last one, but so and this is like why having a series of tests is so important because here we could say still won't have it because we need to. Well, no, we do. So, in the context table row, context dot or would be row for the prompt client. And then here in the task accuracy steps, it wouldn't be context. Well, it could be context dot prompt for this one, right? So the prompt would be context dot prompt. Let's run that real quick, see what we get. Do, do, do. Let's see, what did I break? Send a series of prompts to OpenAI. It failed. And it says send prompts to OpenAI, send prompt shared function. Oh, wait. Oh, let me see. Send prompts to OpenAI. Row. I need row 0. That's what it is. Let's see. Invalid for content expected to string got null. All right, so we can't use the none there. There we go with this. All right, it's taking a little bit longer. See what we get. Well, look at that. Looky that. So if we look at it, it says, I need some cool ideas to do with my child. Let's make this bigger. I need some cool ideas to do with my child. It says create a cardboard, build a robot, make a time capsule, create a scavenger hunt. So 10, it gives you 10, right? And then it says, my child is a boy. That Gracie here. How can I assist you? It needs to be activities for a toddler. Sure, here are some activities from. So didn't care. So OpenAI did not care that the child is a boy. Said, all right, nice. I don't care. And then he says, okay, so it has to be for a toddler. And then so now it gives some activities for a toddler. And then I say, can you suggest one that is indoors? So then it says, all right, all of these. It says not should cost too much. There are several reasons why a product or service should not cost too much. It didn't really give me activities that don't cost much, but all in all, it did go through, right? It did go through. So like I said, we need to figure out some way to validate the context of the conversation, but we have the test written. We just need to figure out how we're going to do some validation for it. So what we're focusing on now is actually getting the validation, or like getting the test written, and then we'll figure out the validation for it. But that is our show for the morning. Let me know your thoughts about our strategy, how we refactored the code to be some of it to be reused, and then we'll probably have to go and clean up the the task accuracy step one, but it should be pretty simple, no biggie. All right. So Thank you for tuning in this morning to the Coffee and Kata show. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. You just see the way that we start to wake up our brain. So once we get to work, we're like we can hit the ground running, and we do not have any issues. So, yeah. So, anyways, at noon today we have the software explorations concept and overviews coming out, talking about test flakiness, and tomorrow night we will be live to continue on our journey for automation through the free mind recovery application. So looking forward to seeing you there. And on that note, we are heading out. So before you head out, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live, like the video, share it on all your social media platforms, and let's go out there and work. Let's go out there and kill it. All right. And on that note, have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I will see you guys tomorrow night.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.